So you've decided to do a track day. This is my McLaren MP412C, and I'm about to do a track day. So I'm going to show you things that you can check yourself if you decide that you are going to do a track day, so you can figure out, do you have to take it to somebody to look it over further, maybe fix some things. I'll show you the basic things that you need to do to check and make sure that you're okay for your track day. So let's get started with the basic stuff. Starting on the inside, a lot of places are going to make you remove these floor mats. They may or may not. There's a rule, not a big deal, but you also don't want to have anything else loose in the cabin. That's literally anywhere. If you're one of the people that likes to put stuff on their dash, it's got to go. Anywhere else inside there, just make sure everything else is cleaned up. It doesn't have to be spotless clean, but you can't have anything loose front or back anywhere in the car. Next, we've got the undercarriage. We want to make sure that we don't have any leaks at all. No coolant, no oil, no nothing. Everything here is grimy because something hit the underside of the car and had a bad time. That doesn't matter. We want to make sure we have no oil, no coolant, any of that. You can also take this under tray off if you're comfortable, and look under there and make sure you don't have anything wet, because this can trap things. But generally, if you don't see anything on the bottom, it's probably not a bad enough leak if you do have one to where it's going to cause a problem. So no leaks. While you're under here, give the suspension a look. Make sure the springs are not rusty or fracturing or anything like that, or leaking, as they might leak from the bottom, that kind of thing. Do that on all four corners, and that can help. And then, if you may kind of know what you're looking for, control arms, upper and lower. We want to make sure that up there and down here, we don't have any control arm bushings that are bad. Now, these are more of a, you're going to hear some knocking and that kind of thing, not so much a dangerous on track, but you do want to have those in peak performance for best results. However, ball joints, like on this tie rod and other places, anywhere you see a ball joint, if those are leaking, I would recommend not doing that track day, because if that ball joint fails, you can have a catastrophic problem with everything coming apart with either the front or rear suspension. Any grease that might be leaking from here, if you've got that, you want to replace that ball joint. That's going to be a problem. Next, we're going to have the tire tread depth. Now, you can look at this, you can tell there's quite a bit of tread, but what you might not realize is how much tread you can go through on a track day. So if you're 630 seconds or less, that's going to be a problem. And this particular gauge has got green, yellow, and red. Now, some of your really track-oriented tires may actually start pretty low here, but we're going to check these front and rear. But in this case, we're about 10-30 seconds. We're definitely good to go. If you look at the tires vary for the tread depth as they are new. If you are greater than 50% wear on that tire, you may not be able to do the track day based on that track's rules. They usually have a checklist. If it's more than 50%, they may not let you run at all. But as a guideline, if it's less than 50%, maybe you consider getting another set of tires to do for track days, or at least that particular track day, and then continue to use the other ones for your daily driving until those wear out. Another point, you might notice I measured on the inside. You always want to do on the inside, because when you have camber adjustments, you're going to wear quicker on the inside than the outside. So try to get it up in the air, take a look at it. Don't just kind of look out here and see, well, this is good. Do it from the inside here. Brake pads. 4% of the pad being left is the spec to replace these things. You can go through a lot depending on the track and how fast you're going, how you're driving, that kind of thing. These, I'm well in the clear, but when that pad, all the way down to the metal, is actually 4%, that is the point where you are supposed to replace these. It'll be different on other cars, but on McLaren's, it's 4%. You want to make sure you've got usually at least 40 to 50% left on your pads, both front and rear, to ensure that you don't have a problem. Another two things you don't want to forget is checking your coolant level, which on this car is right in here, and the oil. That's the oil fill. That's not where you check the level. I've done videos on that, but make sure you check your oil level. You don't want to run at high RPM for a long time, low on oil. Make sure that is topped up properly, and make sure the coolant is also topped up. If you are a little bit low, you can add distilled water. You don't necessarily have to have coolant. If you have to add a lot of it, you might end up changing your mix a little bit too much, but you shouldn't have to add too much. So check your coolant, check your oil level. And those are the basics. Different tracks have different requirements. They might require that a mechanic actually signs off on an entire checklist. But those are the basic things that you can check ahead of time to make sure you can plan ahead. For instance, tires. If you have to order tires, that could take some extra time. So go ahead and check those things yourself, as well as brake pads. So when you do go to these inspections or you have to have anything done, they can get those fitted in time and you can enjoy your track day.